Three, two, one. What's up, everybody? Welcome to On Stage with Earl Biden. We're so glad you tuned in all over the country, wherever you are. We appreciate you, your time with us every weekend. Don't forget, if you miss us on Saturdays, wherever you are, all over the country, we're in about 40 plus markets all over the country, but you can also tune in to us on Sundays in South Bend, Indiana, on the R&B station there. So we're excited about that and being added there. Also in Syracuse, New York now, and Buffalo, you can tune in there as well. So we're excited about those places. And of course, I got my lovely co-host, the one and only, always in her favor, Lucinda Moore, y'all.
Who am I?
You're Lucinda Moore. That's who you are.
Who am I?
Lucinda Moore. Lucinda.
I'm honey.
Come on. Now, Lucinda, we can't be breaking up this time. Now, come on.
I'm not breaking up. Am I breaking up?
No, you're doing well.
You know what?
How you doing? Look, I saw this food that you made the other day, and no invite again. Oh, but you said I have company. Okay.
Yeah.
The food looked amazing.
Thank you. And they came back and had seconds yesterday.
Well, that's okay. I had dinner too, by the way. I had a hen and grilled legs for chicken and green beans and what else? Cabbage and
did you show it? Did you show it though? Did you show it?
Collard greens, lemon cake, and my mom made all of that though at my house.
You know what? I can't.
Hey, she called me. She was like, "What you doing?" I said, "Nothing." She said, "Okay, we're gonna come by tomorrow. I'll make dinner from my house and bring it." I'm like, "Cool." So her and my dad came and my sister. So it was cool.
That's a shame, Earl. You could have cooked.
I could have, but look, I let them do it. They can do it. I can do it, but I don't mind others.
I hear you.
Yeah,
I hear you.
Oh, good. So we got an awesome show. I'm excited about this guy. We've known both of us have known him for a long time. I know we are much younger than he is, however. Excited about him and what he's doing.
What, Earl, he leveled up on us.
Did he level up?
He leveled up.
It's all good. But I am excited about him. So let's give it up for the one and only Oscar Williams, y'all.
Hey. Well, first of all.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, so let's dispel some myths.
Okay.
I am the youngest of this trinity, right?
Whatever, Oscar. Whatever.
Listen, I'm called a babe in Christ. Okay. They are apostles in the Lord's church.
How is that when I'm 30? How was that when I'm 30 years old?
Did y'all see everything freeze when Lucinda said that? Did y'all see that? We live it. This is the mark of a Trump presidency. He would just say anything and they get away with it.
Well, that's good.
No, I am so excited to be with both you, Earl, and Lucinda.
Well, thank you.
Much mad respect to both of you all and the past that you have created and continue to create, continue to trailblaze, continue just to be original and make it happen. And not just make it happen for yourselves, but you always make it happen for other people. So I am grateful.
Well, thank you. We definitely appreciate that. Now, that's a question we ask every artist, book writer, whomever comes on stage with us. And that question is, if you were to walk into a room and someone says, who is, and don't be biblical.
Oh my God, I can't.
Right. Who is Oscar Williams? What would you say?
I would say he's from the Bible.
Oh my God, I cannot.
It's hard not to be biblical when he's from the Bible.
Uh-huh.
No, listen. I would say, Oscar is, and I say this in all seriousness, when people, I don't shun the spiritual side of me. It is who I am. I'm not trying to be anybody else. People talk about balance and whatever. I balance myself more toward the Lord, and that's just me. More so because I can't trust, I don't trust none of my own self. So I need more him than less me. But Oscar is at base just a person who loves people.
Right.
I love God's people, you know, whether they believe like I believe or whether they don't.
Okay.
And that's the reason why I am in the type of work that I am in, working with his people. Because you gotta love them in order to work with
Right.
them. And
Right.
I don't think we initially get into ministry work, whatever that is, whether it's music or preaching or evangelism or whatever, for the sake of wanting to make a name for ourselves. I think we get into it at the sum total of it because we have a love for God's people and to see his people grow through the gifts that he's given us. And so that's just who I am.
Right. Right.
And then everything that I do is an offspring of that sum total of me. I am just a person saved by God that's been called to love his people and to share whatever he gives me with his people.
All right. So with that said, some people may be listening around the world and they're like, okay, I hear that and I know that. Now, what does Oscar Williams do? What is your job? Because some people don't even know your connection and relationship with what you do. They may know Oscar the writer, but what does Oscar do day to day?
And I love how you poise that because it is a difference between who we are and what we do.
Yes.
And so
Right.
now if someone asks me, well, what do you do? Well, perfect question. Well, the simple answer is I'm a communicator.
Okay.
I communicate and I find different ways to communicate. And what are those ways? I communicate on Sunday mornings as a director of music at a church, Potter's House in Dallas, Texas. I communicate through my music that I put out, as you can see behind me, that stunning, attractive man right there who
Oh
resembles
my,
me.
I
His
can't.
skin is just a little bit better than mine.
Look,
But
Earl, did you hear that?
and that's only because of Photoshop.
We use what we
we
have to use.
Amen. We
Listen.
communicate through the music that God has given us, through original songs, beats, melodies, all of that I put out on a new record called Speak Life Volume 1. I communicate through books. I'm an author. I communicate through teaching. I'm an educator. I communicate through tours that I do overseas. What do? I communicate. I love to communicate, and not just so much the Bible, but I love to communicate positive things to people. That's why I named this album Speak Life, because I believe I've been called to speak those things that be not as though they were. I believe I've been called to speak life and not death. I believe I've been called to speak over people and to allow them to see that life is getting better, life is better, life can be better for them through their declarations and their affirmations. That's what I do.
I know
Right.
co-host Lucinda has some questions, but I wanted to say before she comes and say anything, we want to also congratulate you on being Dr. Oscar.
Whoa.
Thank you, man. You know what? Listen,
Wow.
I ain't go out and
There
buy
is
it.
a difference.
There is
You
a difference.
you earned it?
This one did not cost $3.99. This cost a whole
What?
bunch of money.
Listen.
But more
Listen.
than money, it costs time. It took me about 3.5, 4 years. But
Wow.
I'm an advocate of education. I love learning, and it's not so much that I love being in school, but I do believe that we should live our life by choices, such as the case with you and Lucinda. You can't just be a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
This is a world and this is an industry where you have to arm yourself with enough artillery and
Yes.
ammunition
Yes.
where if the world should change on you, or
And
if
did.
your pastor should change his mind, or
And
if the
did.
industry should shift somewhere else, you can
Listen.
say, okay, well, I got enough ammunition. I can shift right with you.
Yeah.
And
And
so
live
that's
right
why,
and live right through it. That's it.
and live right through it. And so I wanted to earn, it was a personal achievement. I wanted to be a Black man with an earned doctorate. And it's not in music, it's actually in education. I have multiple degrees in music, but I wanted something
Mm-hmm.
that was going to expand me and allow me to have even more choices. And so getting a doctorate in educational leadership and management did just that.
That's awesome. And I want to also say, for those who don't know, there is an organization called the Hampton Ministers Conference, and it says Hampton University Ministers Conference. And Oscar is one of the instructors there, a leading pianist for the conference as well. So kudos to you.
I used to be a pianist. They got some big shots there.
Oh,
you know, I don't play.
Oscar.
But
Oscar,
I am
you're not
part of Hampton.
You're not big shot.
I'm just a nobody.
You know,
That's not
Oh my goodness.
I'm not
That's
trying,
on another.
Never
Williams
mind.
album. That's not.
Never mind.
I'm not trying to blow his head up, but I have 3 favorite pianists or keyboardists. So however you
Who is it?
John Paul McGee,
Absolutely.
Cedric Rowson,
Absolutely.
and Oscar Williams. And I've never told you that.
I love Oscar.
And I'm gonna tell you why. Because when you hear you guys, you don't hear the music, you hear the heart of the music.
Wow, thank
and
you, man.
You play clean. You know, everybody don't play clean, if that makes sense. You know,
because they're not living right.
Right.
There you go.
You can't play what you're living. Come on, Lucinda.
They're not living right, and they're not gonna make it.
Right.
They're not living right. They're not gonna make it.
It's coming out.
Listen, they not anointment. They ain't got no anointment.
That dirty living.
Okay. Just
my God,
playing all kind of music, all kind of stuff in it.
All kind of cards, dirty cards.
But
they live in dirt.
You have always been good at what you do. I remember years ago, you even coming through GMWA, and Al the Bishop Hobbs, introducing you to the radio room. At that time.
I remember that.
Yeah, so we go back so far. Lucinda being at GMWA, singing at the Come As You Are musicals. I mean, we remember all of those moments.
Lucinda started GMWA.
I did not, y'all. Don't listen to him. They trying to say I'm old. I did not. I did not come up with no James Cleveland.
One day, Lucinda and James was talking, and it was Lucinda that said, JJ, we should start a convention. And here we are. I'm a historian.
Y'all don't listen to him. Don't listen to him. I was 0 months old. I was 0 months old when that convention started. I wasn't even born.
Now listen.
But listen, I got a question. Uncle Earl. I call him Uncle Earl. You know how we do. I used to call you Uncle Oscar too. So listen, where are you from?
I am from St. Louis. I rep my hometown every chance I get. STL, Missouri, Midwest. I go hard for St. Louis. Love it.
Okay, I have another question. Like, what was it? You didn't tell everybody. You said you play at the Potter House, or you're over the music department at the Potter House, but you didn't say who the pastor is.
So my pastor is T.D. Jakes, and it's the Potter's house.
Huh?
You got to put it's a possessive S.
Potters. The Potters.
Yeah, because he's the Potter. So it ain't our house. It's the Potters.
Listen.
Come on now.
Come on.
With the apostrophe.
Come
on.
The apostrophe. Come on.
So Oscar, how? Because you know, Earl Bynum talks about his church like 24/7.
All the time.
His pastor, his bishop. What? Yeah, that's the bishop.
So Kim Walter Brown. That's it.
I know how to say it, Earl. I know how to say it. How did that connection come about with you and Bishop Jakes?
So, you know, a very interesting story that I tell often, and I'll give the elevator version of it. I actually was in Atlanta. I was living in Atlanta and got let go at a church. Never been fired from church before. And I say that again, just so people understand our journeys or times are filled with swift transitions. So you might see somebody and not understand that their journey, all of us have up and down in our journeys. So sitting on the side of the bed, just wondering, like, man, what am I going to do? And I heard the voice of the Lord say, I've never left you. So like, I was like, cool. And this is another testament to making good relations. When I was living in Dallas before I moved to Atlanta, and I made a good friend in the guy who was serving in the position that I'm in now before me. And when I got let go of the church, I called him and I said, listen, man, I'm thinking about coming back to Dallas, feel led to come back to Dallas. Is there anything open there? And he was like, yeah, I'll make a position for you. And he had me directing the chorale, which is like a 15, 20 voice choir. And I got there, and to be honest with you, I was frustrated. I'm like, God, I got these degrees, and I done this and that, and you got me directing 20 people. And I remember the voice of the Lord saying, can you be faithful? Can you be faithful over this little thing? And I was like, God, I can. And literally, this is no stretch of the imagination. When people ask me how it happened, I say it was just by being faithful. I never vied for the position. I never put in an application for it. I never said, hey, pick me. I literally served my way into this, that they saw me serving. And when Bishop and I finally talked and he told me why he promoted me and elevated me to this, he said it was because he saw the work that I did in other areas. I went from directing a choir. I went from just being a choir director to being the artistic director, and then to being assistant minister of music. And it was just literally serving faithfully until one day he came to me and said, I want you to take this. And honestly, I initially said no, because I didn't want the pressure of what happened to me last time in a similar position.
The hurt,
yeah. And I was like, no, this is a lot. And I remember them telling me, well, okay, if it's not you, it's gonna be somebody. So take a few days to think about it, things of that nature. It was a lot of the stuff surrounding it, and I finally got a peace about it. And it was like God was saying, don't fear what happened before. And I think a lot of times that's what keeps us from progressing, whether it's in your music career, whether it's in your business, whatever it is. We will have an experience that will scar us, and that experience will keep showing itself up and stopping us from moving forward. But that experience was only to serve as a reminder of what not to do when you get into the next situation. It was never to serve as a deterrent for you to continue moving forward.
Right. Wonderful story. And Uncle Earl, have you ever been there to sing? I haven't been there to sing at all. You?
Oscar gave me the opportunity. I happened to be in Dallas. I think it was a Wednesday night, and I enjoyed being there. So I appreciate
I got left out.
Earl,
I got left out.
How many times has she come to Dallas?
Lucinda, how many times have you come to Dallas?
7 times.
Look at that camera freezing. Exactly.
7 times.
Not since I've been there, ain't no 7 times.
No, it was before you came.
See there? See, you see how people
I have to be honest.
Okay.
You see how people
I have to be honest.
Details.
It's all good.
I have to be honest.
But look,
I'm coming though.
Let's transition to this new record, because we need to talk about the new record. So
yes,
you have a new record. Can you share with our people, because there are songs that you have written that people are singing and they may not know you're the writer, because a lot of times we associate the song with the soloist and not the writer. So can you some of those songs?
So yeah, I wrote Amazing Grace.
What you read? What? Huh?
Lucinda.
What?
Lucinda.
I'm about to run out of here. How about I'm about to walk down the street barefoot? I can't.
So that's I these are my friends. I hate that question, only because A, it's always hard for me to talk about myself, and then B, when people get in that, it's always like, oh yeah. You meet somebody and they'll be trying to convince them, like, he wrote, don't you know? And you're like,
they be like,
Look, my son tells me that sometimes, right? So we'll be somewhere and know, and I'm in front, because I'm like, that stuff. And he got me to, he said, Pops, don't ever do that. 'Cause I don't know who people are.
And
But-
people
but
do
I
that
will say
to
this.
me.
I will say
I'm
this.
serious.
I will say this. So there, I will. What I am surprised about sometimes, I will reposition the question. Most people don't know if they remember the song, and I do get this a lot. There was a song Teresa Harrison put out. I think it was like her first or second gospel heritage that Marvin Sapp did, "Forevermore." And at that time, it was a pretty popular song. And even to this day, when people do it, and I was a very young writer, unknown writer, so nobody would have known. So it's
Right.
called "Forevermore, I'll Praise You." So
Right.
again, this was like maybe in, I don't know, like 90 something when she put that out. So and then there was a song on Timbaland Mann's "Take Me to the King" album that I did that most people don't know that I did. It's "All to Thee." So, and I mentioned those because those are now, of course, they're several other songs I've written for Karen Clark and Smokey Norfolk, Mississippi Mass, My Church, of course, and then my dear friend, our dear friend, Lucretia Campbell, who's going on to be with the Lord,
Right.
and done some work. But yeah, the strangest thing is, when I did take the position at the church, I kind of stepped away from that scene because it took
Yeah.
so much to focus on the church. And one of the things I even teach, when I do seminars and lectures and master classes, is that you have to choose when you step into a new dimension, when you step into a new level, you have to become a student again. And elevation does come with a price.
It
There
does.
are certain things that you have to release in order to excel in that new elevation. And I knew taking on this position at the church was going to cause me to have to develop a different type of focus. So I wasn't going to be able to be Oscar the artist initially, or Oscar, flying all over the world and still lead a
Right.
department and develop that.
Right.
It's impossible because
Impossible.
people need you. Like leadership is not about leading, it's about serving.
Right.
It's about being available every day to say, how can I best serve you, my staff and volunteers? And literally, I've been trying to do that for the last 4 years. So that's why it's taken so long for this to come out, because this is the first time. The pandemic really gave me a break to focus.
Wow.
And I was able to say, well, okay, well, let me, see if this music still has a place in this thing we call the gospel
industry.
whatever that is.
Well, I applaud you and Earl for the positions that you guys have at your churches. I don't know how I would be able to do that because I love traveling so much. And I just applaud you guys. You guys your names ring in the atmosphere as far as being the baddest music minister of music. The minister of music, and you're right, you have to let go of something in order to concentrate on the people. Whenever you take on positions like that, and artists don't understand, they want to be an artist, and then when they take on these positions, they still want to travel, and you can't do that. The only person that can do that is Byron Cage
and JJ.
and JJ.
Listen,
That's the only ones.
I said, JJ, I'm jealous and I want your life and job.
Right,
Because
right.
listen, you did the favor that you got on your life.
Listen.
Not only are you at a church, you got a record label, you got listen, what are you doing? The Lord loves you.
But here's the thing, JJ and I grew up in the same church, and we had a pastor that was a music head. Like, he understood because he was a minister of music. When you connect with other ministers of music, that's pastors, they understand that you gotta go, that you have to, and then what you gotta do is, and I'm sure you guys understand this, you got to put somebody in that place that flow like you, if you want to travel like that.
And
So,
JJ has
yeah.
served faithfully. I mean, just he's all our friends. So I said that in jest.
Yeah. So
But
we could talk. Yeah.
there are things that do come when you serve faithfully. You know,
Right.
and when again, people look at one part of the journey, but they don't know, as Lucinda said, growing up, she can give you the history. Like when
Yeah.
there were things that he sacrificed to be at home, to be
Yeah.
at his church. You know, we all came
Yep.
from a day where we took that red eye from whatever conference or convention to make it back to Sunday morning to be in place. And we
Yep.
sat on a mini organ
Mhm.
bench. Lucinda had a mini mic in her hand with one eye closed and one eye open, singing about the good love of Jesus. But you did what you had to do.
Oscar, I can't. Mm-mm. No, I
You know,
didn't.
is it true?
No, I didn't. I didn't have no mini mic Saints. No, I
Listen,
had a
but you
Mickey
know what?
Mouse, a Mickey Mouse
What is
mic.
funny though is when I see younger artists that feel so entitled to such benefit, and I'm like, listen,
Yeah.
you just started yesterday.
You haven't scratched the surface.
You
You
have
have
not
not scratched.
scratched.
Listen.
Absolutely, you have not proven yourself until you have gone 24 to 48 hours with no sleep serving.
Right.
And
Right.
until you have driven from
Whew.
one side of the country to the other side of the country to get back for a 9 a.m. service where ain't
All of
nothing but
that.
15 people there, because you're faithful to it.
Yeah.
Like, you know, listen,
Right.
you can't
Right.
look like that until you done what I just said. I got
Listen, ha, Shandio. I felt God
Now,
on that one for real.
speaking of looking like that, a great cover, sir. Great cover.
Very, very good. Very
Now,
good.
I will give you my address for the shirt that the turtleneck you have
Well,
on.
God bless you. God bless you.
It's
God
all
bless you,
right.
God.
It's all right. That's not gonna make it either.
So let's talk about Speak Life. Now, with Speak
Yeah.
Life, how many songs do you have available? And we know it's on all platforms.
Yes. So, you know, interesting. So it's 6 songs on there. And that was, again, you know, that was some trepidation coming back into this thing because it's changed and evolved so much. And, you know, you feel like, man, is there still a place for me? I had to go through the answer, the why question. Like, why am I doing this? Like, am I
Right.
doing this? You know, I mean, it ain't to be famous. So why? So why? Because I do want to speak life and I want to give people a song book that believe in positive affirmations and declarations over their life from a biblical stance, that they can sing, say every morning, that will bring nourishment to their spirit. But with that, I had to overcome like, okay, cool. I got like a 30,000 songs, but so I had to admit I was testing the water. I was like, okay, we're gonna start with these 6, and see how it goes. I'm independent, so yeah, so it's coming out of my pocket. But I believe in investing in yourself, and sometimes you got to do that for the greater reward at the end. So Speak Life is a collection of music, a body of work that really is specifically speaking to the believer and even in some cases the non-believer, and really poised to give you a narrative, a song book, uh, something to say, sing, meditate on that's going to speak about where you are and propel you forward. Every song, the first song is Soar. Soar talks about really going higher and higher. It's hip hop infused. I did it with my brother Thaddeus Tribbett. And really, again, it speaks to trajectory. We're not staying where we are, we're moving up. Soar. Second song is Crushing is Not the End. Again, it's a reminder and declaration to people that wherever you are, we all have been in a crushed environment, crushed situation, life, COVID, sickness, job, but it's not the end.
Right.
And just like Jesus was crushed, he resurrected on the 3rd day, and so will you. Heal Our Land is the 3rd song. Heal Our Land is a ballad I did in the wake of the Ferguson riots, just taken from 2nd Chronicles 7:14, asking God to heal our land, that we humble ourselves and pray. And again, it's a prayer declaration for the whole world. Destiny is one of my favorite songs on there because Destiny I wrote at a time where it was probably my lowest. And there's a line in it that says, what's ahead is better than what's behind me. I'm moving forward. And it was something I had to continually remind myself that what is ahead, I can't see it, but it's got to be better than what's behind me. And so my only position in life is to keep moving forward. Then there's an upchurchy tempo song on there called Right There. And it's a reminder that no matter where you are in life, no matter what situation you're going through, God is still right there, and he will be right there in the midst. It's also, kind of a play on that old St. Louis rap song, Right There. Not same beat, but, I'm from St. Louis, so we say right there.
Right.
Instead of right there, right there.
You are.
Exactly. THURR, right there. And then it closes out with something I did over 10 years ago with Dallas artists. Literally, I tell people we were doing the Maverick City thing before Maverick City became a thing. I called, in my 30th birthday, which now was 11 years ago, I called a whole bunch of just Dallas artists, worship leaders to the studio. And I got on the piano and I told the engineer, put us in the red. And no overdubs, no redos, nothing. We just went straight forward. And that the last track, Your Name, is evidence of that. It's just pure worship, unadulterated, unfiltered, no tricks, no drum loops or anything like that. Just the heart of the singer and the heart of a pianist matching together to reach the heart of God. Wow. So that's Speak Life.
Wow, that's good. So what is the radio single now? What would you say is the radio single?
The radio single now that's playing is Heal Our Land with C. Ashley Brown Lawrence. And some of you all might recognize the name C. Ashley Brown from some work that she's done with Hezekiah Walker. She's led a few songs on his latest project. She also has her own, shout out to Ashley. She has her own project out. She just dropped a single called Depending on God. It's fire. You want to get that, but it's doing
That's my heart right there. That's my heart.
Yeah. Heal Our Land is doing well. It's picking up momentum. I think right now we're number 60 or 58 on the charts, and we're just asking God to breathe and blow on it. And one of the things I'll say quickly is that I didn't want to get into the rigmarole of numbers and charts and where is it. I didn't want my spirit to be taxed by that, because that can be, we can make an idol out of that, right? We can make an idol out of being number one,
right?
And we will determine the fruitfulness of our ministry based off of a number that can easily be manipulated. And so I was like,
Amen.
God, I definitely want whatever success you bring my way, but I don't want my spirit to be moved by the changing of a chart. I want to be focused on the impact that you make with the music. And if you should bless me to get up to some high number, I'll praise you. And if I don't, I'm still going to serve you and praise you, because it's about getting this message to your people.
Awesome. Right. If you're just tuning in, we're on stage with Earl Bynum, Lucinda Moore, and we're talking with the one and only Oscar Williams. He has a new record called Speak Life. We want you to get it. So tell our listening audience, how would they get your project and how to get in contact with you?
Earl, that was a great speaking radio voice right there. Like,
he just switched it all up, Oscar. Yeah. Like he just went into like somebody was giving him $1 million or something.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna discard everything else, and in his mind, I'm gonna start.
He is going to chop it up, honey. He's gonna and put his voice in there, right?
Yeah. I didn't even forgot your question.
How would they actually get your project? Where would they go? And how would they contact you?
Listen, you can get let me move out the way. So y'all see all that? You can get it on all digital outlets. It's like really available on Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, Google, Amazon. It's available all there. Type in Oscar Williams and the Band of Life. You'll see other things that we've done, other projects that we put out. I Am Healed, a record I did with my pastor featuring Bishop T.D. Jakes, I Am Healed by the Word of God. We did Safety, which was on my first project I released in 2004. We released it as a single some years back. But yeah, download it, stream it, however you get music. It's on YouTube. you know, in these day and age, you know, it's not one main medium, it's several. And if you want to contact me, I am on all social media platforms, and my handle is really easy. It's Oscar Worldwide. You type in Oscar Worldwide, you'll find me on Facebook, Instagram, Clubhouse, which is a new social media platform that's really, 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 really beneficial to a lot of us. Twitter, it's all the same. I made it very easy. Oscar Worldwide is the handle. And yeah, I would love to communicate and engage with you, the listener, the believer, the non-believer, and let's talk life.
All right.
Amen.
We love it. Well, we want to thank you so much for being with us. Truly amazing. Your testimony in itself. I'm sure people have received some nuggets about some things, even with their life, that they can apply by hearing your testimony. So thank you so much. We appreciate you. Keep writing. We know you're a great writer. You're a great leader. You do what you do. We see you, and that's good. And shout out to you and Neely handling that new app, man. Y'all are doing that thing.
Man, yeah, it's a good blessing. I hope that you all are taking advantage of it. It's good. Yeah.
I haven't
Thank
yet.
you, guys. Well,
We're waiting on you, Lucinda. Come on in.
I just want to thank you both, Lucinda and Earl. Thank you guys so much for allowing me to be on. Thank you for being supporters. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. You know, we hear this often, that people don't have to be nice. But in an industry as small as ours and as competitive as ours, sometimes we don't like to give other people real estate or help because we think it will take something away from us.
Right.
And as artists, you know, your listening audience already knows that you guys are artists and all of that, and entrepreneurs. Lucinda got shopping boutiques online. She sell houses and she makes CDs. She do everything. She's a millionaire. You know, and I appreciate her hustle. And Earl Bynum got TV shows and radio shows and churches and real estate and all of that. And they don't have to offer up this space to artists like myself or other people. They could keep it all from themselves and reap the benefits. So this just goes to the testament of what's really inside of you guys. And just the genuineness inside of you. And so from my heart to your heart, I say thank you. And on behalf of everybody that didn't say thank you, I say thank you for them.
Well, Oscar, you know,
Thank you.
we do appreciate that, but it's easy to interview those with our platform that we have. And this is a large platform, larger than most.
Yeah.
It's a
Exactly. Exactly.
And it's easy to do people such as yourself that when we see you, you're always the same.
Amen.
Right.
You're always smart with us.
Oh my God.
You're just Oscar. You know, you're gonna say whatever you want to say, and we understand that, and we're glad about that.
So I'm just, but here's the thing, Earl. I'm just trying to figure out how he think he's a millennial, like he didn't come up with us.
Well, we're gonna come back and talk about that. But listen, we want y'all to keep it locked where it's hot. Stay tuned for more on Lucinda Moore.